Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Changing the Lost Vanity. Vanity is a first edition Chronicles of Darkness game set in southern Florida during the year 1993. Follow Katrina, played by Tillman, Raymond, played by Chris, Isabel, played by Andrew, Frank, played by Slavic, and Adam as the storyteller, as they uncover the mysteries of the true Fae and forge new paths for themselves in a world of beauty and madness. Follow us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM for channel updates, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
Raymond, we'll say it's about 8:30. It's 8:30 at night right now. It's gotten dark out, and you had this kind of like stakeout in mind. Have you already left the hotel and gone to Manny's property, or are you still in the process of that right now? Tell me what's going on with you.
So what Raymond does is he's going to kind of try to put on some darker clothes. I mean, he doesn't have obviously have any kind of like B&E type clothing, but he's going to put on something darker, put on his baseball cap, and then he's going to call a cab to like drop him off about a few blocks away from Manny's house. And what kind of, I guess before I even continue, like where does Manny live? Like what kind of place does he live in? I mean, what's the area like before I kind of decide exactly how I'm going to go about doing it?
Good question. I don't think we introduced Manny's house yet, but we are going to say that you definitely know where he lives and you definitely have been there before. He lives in a somewhat nicer, not like a gated community, but like a pretty nice like residential community with a lot of those like pretty decent size suburban homes for middle class families and stuff. And it's strange because he lives there by himself. So you always like wonder what his neighbors think of this guy. You guys see him as this very intense person, who's always driving around like secretive, taking care of business. Like you guys have this one image of him, and as you like are driving into like his neighborhood, his nicer neighborhood, you start to picture like what do his neighbors think about him? You know what I mean? Like what do they think of this guy? Like what is his normal life like? You never really considered it. Does he have any type of day job? Like what does he do? This is all stuff that you never really thought too hard about, but you're like pulling into his community, and it's kind of late at night, so you can see some like porch lights on and stuff like that, but there's not a whole lot of activity in the neighborhood right now.
So I'm going to pay the cabbie to like drop me off like 3 blocks away. Try to like not say anything. Like I said, he doesn't, he's trying to be on the down low or whatever. Pay the cabbie, and he's going to get out, and I guess I'm going to try to, well, I was going to bring this forward to you because you seem to know the system better than I. When I say seem to know, I mean know it way more than I. The night's subtle distractions, the contract. I was going to want to use this when I'm walking around. It says this clause allows the lost to avoid notice by enhancing physical conditions that limit perception. A dark night seems darker. Background noise that obscure the changeling's footsteps seem louder. Distraction becomes more distracting, and strong smells can even block a bloodhound's ability to track the changeling. So what I want to do, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume that since he lives in kind of an upper middle class neighborhood, he has like, does he have any like trees in his house, or does he have like a larger front yard or something like that?
Yes, both.
Both. Okay. I'm going to, because here's my reasoning behind this. I want to use that while I'm like staying in some shadows, you know what I mean? And I really want to tap into what I am, you know what I mean? And what I'm trying to do is keep an eye open on if someone will drop off like they did on this house, you know what I mean? Drop off to these things first, and I know it's supernatural. I know it's whatever, but I wanted to like just really hide myself and stake myself out. And like I said, this is part of like me feeling like momentum and is pushing me this way. Like I can't turn back. I can't go back home. I can't go back to there's nothing to go back to. Literally, there's only forward that I can go right now. So like, this is my way of just riding it, So I just want to sit here and see what comes of it. And then I guess I'll play it by ear if I do happen to see something while I'm waiting.
Okay, cool. All right, so why don't you go ahead and give me the weird plus stealth roll?
And this is where I'm going to spend a point of willpower here, so I can have 3 additional dice, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then, quick question again: these modifiers, suggested modifiers, don't make any sense to me. So, is there any that apply to me? That +1, the total environment modifiers to perception are -3 or higher. I don't get what that means.
So it's basically like different things about the environment would either give you like a a benefit or like a
Okay,
minus.
I feel you.
Trying
Like
to
I
think
have,
Like
like
time he's hiding in shadows.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I'm hiding in shadows of a tree, and you know what I mean. I'm trying to like, I guess, see if I can give me one
I'm gonna
plus.
say that like yeah, like using the landscape of this area to your advantage, I'm gonna give you like a +1 for
Okay.
just it's a quiet environment. Manny has like a decent sized yard with trees and stuff like that, like actual trees.
So I got 2 successes.
So that works for you. You get a feeling that you're pretty well disguised right now, and you kind of feel this sort of naturalness as you are like hiding in the darkness, knowing that you're unseen. And you're a darkling. You're like a mirror skin, I think. And this is like kind of like what you. I don't know how I'm trying to say this. It's like a natural feeling for you. It's like you feel
Yeah.
like this is like a environment that you strive in, even though it's not like part of your daily routine. Like when you have to go to the shadows and you have to go to the darkness, like you can do pretty well for yourself. Like that's just like the part of the abilities, part of the curse that has been put upon you.
I would almost think that Raymond is more comfortable now, and when he got that glamour, you know what I mean, than when he was a normal person, if that makes sense.
You feel at peace. You feel almost the way that you felt when you were in the ocean, and just it's like it is comfortable for you, and it's weird because it feels different from what you were just feeling before. And you are just kind of like waiting and just trying to like scope things out. And you're looking at Manny's house and the lights are off. His car is not there. He's not there. Nobody's there. But you're just watching. I want to say about 15, we'll say 20 minutes go by of you just waiting in silence. And there's just no activity. You know what I mean? There's not really any of the sounds of the neighborhood. You hear like the crickets chirping and stuff like that. Can you go ahead and give me a wits and composure, please?
3 successes. Holy shit.
All right, so you're waiting in the silence, and after a while, the sort of like the humming of the buzzing of these crickets, and just the quiet of the night is therapeutic to you. It's almost the silence is almost like becoming its own soundscape in itself. And as you listen, you you start to hear more to it. You start to hear like a faint, like a buzzing that you could almost follow, and you can hear where it is. If you could just walk a little closer, you could maybe see what's going on. And it's just coming from further in Manny's yard. And you just think, maybe if I walked over there, I could make more sense out of it.
I'm going to slowly walk over there. Um, do I feel like I'm in control of my thoughts right now compared to like in the hotel room? You know what I mean? Am I moving on my own accord, or am I feeling myself being overtaken with emotion that I wasn't just feeling?
You feel like you are moving on your own accord, but you also feel like a fly being drawn to the light. It's like something inside of you is telling you to go, and then something inside of you, the self-preservation instinct is saying, watch out, like be careful. But
Okay,
you're
so
just
have I felt like this before ever?
um not necessarily. This is like a new feeling for you, but you've this whole thing is kind of a new feeling for you. You're on the outs right now, and you're trying to find more information, and this is like it's calling to you. So you feel drawn to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna slowly make my way towards it, but try to stick to the shadows. You know what I mean? And just try to like, I just want. Yeah, I'm gonna try doing that. Observe.
So as you take each slow step closer to the blackness behind the trees in Manny's backyard, where you just can't really see what's beyond there. Every step you take, it's like the crickets grow a little louder. That little buzzing that do you hear it, or is it something you're feeling? It starts to become more as you get closer, and you just get closer to the trees, and it's still just pitch black beyond them, and you're not really sure. But this buzzing is loud enough that you could just walk right up to it now, and it's like a curtain that you could just pull back, and you're not sure if this is what you want to do or not.
Yeah, because I'm at a loss. I'm like hesitantly like looking at it, but like, I don't see anything, right? It just looks like the backyard still. It's just a sound that I hear in the darkness.
Yeah, it's just the backyard. So like you're just looking straight ahead at his backyard, which has like a little bit of dense trees. I mean, on the other side of those trees would be the backyard of like a neighbor's house, So it's like it's not like it's just going into the deep woods, but it's completely obstructed. It's like it's just blackness beyond those trees, and it's too dark for you to see past it. But you can tell that this is where that the cricket sound is coming from the strongest, and it's like telling you to just come in.
Can I resist it though? Resist that feeling of going into it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to get as close as I comfortably can, but I'm just going to stay in the shadows and watch it. You know what I mean? And just kind of like, because in Raymond's instincts right now, like there's something here, or there's something coming from here, or you know what I mean? That just doesn't sit right. So I want to see, because I want to know what the fuck is doing all this shit to Manny, And so it's like he's got this weird sense of like. The one thing that's saving his ass right now from walking in there probably is the fact that he knows right now his only purpose, his only direction he's going is forward to find out what's causing this. If there was like home still and his business still and he didn't kill Charlie, he might be walking into that thing right now without even, you know what I mean? But his determination right now, I think, to find is like preventing him from wanting to walk in there completely. So he's just going to get as close as he can and just watch and hope that he sees something. And he's obviously looking intently into the area to see if he sees anything,
Give me a wits plus weird roll.
2 successes.
Okay, all right. So you wait for about another minute or two. This time you're right up close to to where the trees are at and where this sound is coming from, and you hear it just loud and clear. And you're not taking a step forward, but you can just hear this becoming like clearer and clearer, and you start to feel this sort of tingle on the back of your neck. It's the same sort of feeling you get when you use one of your contracts, or when you engage in a type of deal with another one of your kind, like you've done a few times, and you feel the weird kind of rising in you, and you know that further on lies the hedge.
Shit. Fuck. But I don't see anything, do I? I just
You
know
don't.
the hedge is there.
What do you feel like being this close to the hedge right now?
Scared. I really like, for all the hate that Raymond gets, you know what I mean? The one thing that Raymond right now is scared shitless, because the hedge is where all the bad shit happened at him. You know what I mean? Where like you know what I'm saying? All the torture he experienced and all that stuff, right? That's the hedge, right? Or is the hedge the layer between? Oh,
It's
no,
the layer between, but I mean, at the same time, it's like when you escaped Arcadia and you had to make it back through the hedge. That's like where your soul was like just totally stripped from you, and when you came back to the other side, you weren't a person anymore. There's probably not a lot of fondness for you in this place,
because to me right now, he's like, he sees it all. He senses the hedge. The thing that's stopping him from making a decision right now is either A, has something already came out and gone back in there, or is something waiting to come out. If something is waiting to come out, he wants to wait and see it first. You know what I mean? But if something has already went back in there, he wants to go in there and follow it. You know what I'm saying? And so like he's kind of like having this, like, he doesn't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? Because it's only been a little time since he sensed this, right?
So you heard the sound, you started to walk up closer to where it was at, and you've been waiting next to the sound for about, we'll say like 5 minutes of you just like waiting in silence, just taking stock of where you are and just trying to, you're in your head, you're coming to terms with the idea that like, okay, this is an opening to the hedge. This is like the further beyond here is the hedge. And like that is just like, yeah, you've been waiting for about 5 minutes just to answer.
And this just showed, I mean, this just, in my impression, this just showed up, or has it always been
No,
here?
it's like it's been there, but you just started to notice it. It's like it took you a few minutes of 20 minutes of just sitting and listening to just hear that maybe there was an extra sound, beyond that cricket chirping and stuff like that. And as you got closer and closer to it, and it became more clear and clear, that's when you're standing right next to it and you know what this is.
I'm surprised Manny didn't sense it, or did Manny know it was in here? That right there, the this has been here for a while, right?
But then again, keep in mind, you've been outside listening for about 20 minutes. And just then did you get like even an inclination to go check out further. If Manny had just been passing through, there's no way he would have caught this unless he had some sort of, some sort of sense. You know what I mean? It took you like a lot of seeking, a lot of sitting and patience and listening and successes and stuff like that to be able to figure out what's over here. And the more that you think about it and the more you contemplate like what it is and what you should do, you start to just feel like just this blackness, just this like behind you is just darker all of a sudden, and in front of you is darker all of a sudden. And
I'm going to turn around and look. Yeah.
As you turn around and look, you aren't where you were. It's like it changed. It's like you, without stepping inside, it just grew around you or something like that. And you look back and you look forward and you're turning around. And now I want you to give me a composure and give me what's in composure?
3 successes.
As you start to look back and forth and all around you and stuff like that, you realize that like this is like not where I've been waiting for the past like few minutes. Like I must have stepped inside it or something accidentally, or it grew around me because I'm now in the hedge. Like you feel like there's this strangeness, this alienness of where you are, this unpredictability, and it's just you're in it.
Right now in Raymond's head, he knows that his time in here before was penance for what he did to his wife. And in a way, he understands that he has to go forward to pay for the consequences of the stuff he's done. So he's going to wholeheartedly make his way to whatever way is forward and kind of accept where he's at now rather than panic, because no matter how this ends up, you know what I mean? Like I said, he's too far ahead right now, and this just may be the punishment that he deserves. So he's going to make his way forward.
And as you realize where you are, you have this feeling of just immediate panic at first, like being lost in the woods, or even worse, it's just like having your head held under the water and you just can't get it back out. And you're just, for a second, you're just like looking back and forth. You lose your direction. You're not sure. You lose your bearings, and you're not sure which way to even go at this point. And it's very startling. It awakens a primordial fear inside of you. And there's part of you that's like pulling at you and saying, Raymond, get out of here. Raymond, this is wrong. Go. But then there's the part of you that still has a sense of duty to your freehold and your people, and to Manny and to Charlie, and to especially Charlie. And you think about it, and you think about this kid that you kind of bonded with, and that you made a promise to, and how you need to see this thing through to the end to do right by him, to make this right.
Yeah, and I'd also say his initial panic too might have been a fear that like he's going to get captured again and go through all the shit that he went through before, the whole thing that he's been nervous about this whole time, and he's surrounded by it. But yeah, like you said, like momentum's moved him to this point, and he's just going to go forward with it.
And so as you look around you, you no longer see Manny's house. You no longer see any of the kind of landmarks, houses, streets, mailboxes, stuff like that could give you an indication of where you are. Now it's like you're just stuck in this dense, like in between the houses where the trees were, It's like that's just grown on forever. And there's brambles and vines and just darkness ahead and behind for as far as you can see.
And there's no like paths or signs of like anyone had been here before, or you know what I mean? Or is it just like
Not that you can
completely
see.
uncharted?
It's just uncharted brush. And you're able to just push through the brush into the darkness, but you can't see ahead of you at all. It's kind of just like just groping in the darkness for just, pushing the branches past and moving forward and forward and forward, and you see this sort of swamp-like nature of this place, and you smell the smells of just the stagnant water and the dirt and the outdoors.
I would say this is almost like deja vu, man, because like this is exactly how he got taken into Arcadia, when he was like trying to hide the bodies of his wife and her lover and shit, and just like, I don't know, man, scary as fuck. I don't want to say like Raymond sitting there like bravely, blindly going through this shit. He's fucking scared, you know what I mean? But like, what else can he fucking do, man? He's
It would be scary, and it's not even like you made the conscious choice to step on in. It's sort of like a second where you lingered for too long, and it just grew around you, and now you're just in it.
This isn't bravery. Yeah, it's not bravery at all. It's just his shitty decisions or whatever, and his self-righteous bullshit put him in this situation, just like the first time I guess he was in it.
So yeah, and you press on in this sort of dark brush for minutes, 20 minutes, until you're not even really sure, and it's all starting to come back in your head. Like you think about what you're doing, you think about your daughter, think about Charlie, you think about little Justin from the news, and you think about his family, and you think about strange stuff too. You think about the grill and the beach and just what life was like before, what life was like as a normal person, how even just the dysfunctions of your relationship, which seemed so terrible and so awful at the time, are just literally nothing compared to the shit that you've stepped in now. And will you ever even get out? You start to wonder, if you're headed in the right direction or if you're just headed straight to them.
I would think too, like this is almost like a hell starting to become like a hell of his own making. I could see him like starting to like cry during all this, you know what I mean? And like start sobbing as he's like making his way through here, because I mean, dude, this seems like a mental mind fuck, like you're going forward, backwards, whatever in the dark, and he just doesn't know what's happening to him. So he's probably starting to sob too, like just with these thoughts that you said are coming through his head, you know what I mean?
And yeah, so you keep pushing through the brush, and the water, the tears from your eyes are just falling onto your arms and falling onto your clothing, and you feel them. They're heavier than they were before. They wet the clothes. They leave this lasting stain on your arm as you kind of push forward, and your sense of disorientation is kind of just like growing more and more as you start to go further and further. It would seem, if you look behind you, not really sure you made much progress at all. It's like the brush is closed up behind you, and it's starting to feel very uncomfortable. It's starting to feel like you're just in the middle of the ocean, and you're just treading for water, and you're not even sure which direction would even be towards land or how far away you are from anything.
Because you mentioned the ocean and just like how it seems endless and doesn't know the progress he's making, and like this time just goes on. He has this pistol with him, right? Like this pistol went over with him during this, right?
He still has it.
I'm gonna say like there's a second like where he just stops moving. You know what I mean? Like he just because doesn't know where the fuck he's at. You know what I mean? Doesn't know what's going on. When he looks up, does he see anything when he looks up, like at the sky, like, or is it completely pitch dark?
You see the stars.
I'm gonna say there's a moment where he like kind of like looks at those stars for a second. You know what I mean? And he's trying to like. There's just a moment where he's like pulls the gun out of his like belt, and he's just for a second just like thinking about contemplating, like putting it, you know what I mean, like under his chin, and he's just like sitting there like looking at the stars. Just feels like he's not making any kind of movement, and I'd say there's a point where like he even puts like under his chin, you know what I mean, and he's sitting there like just with his eyes closed, just trying to like get the courage to do it, until finally he's like,
and then you hear this voice, "I wouldn't fire that in here."
There's a moment where my eyes open and like his whole demeanor, suicidal thoughts are instantly like removed from his system. You know what I mean? Like that, hearing that voice and hearing like the creepy ass voice he just did. There's a moment where he just kind of like smirks a little bit. I don't know if she can see it, puts the gun from underneath his chin and just kind of like puts it it keeps it in his hand and turns around towards the voice.
You turn around to where it sounds like this voice came from, but you still see nothing.
Who is it that I'm speaking to? Show yourself.
There's still silence.
You were the one that was in the mirror, weren't you? The one who was going through Charlie.
You feel the hairs on your neck sort of stand up and this ice cold chill just run through your bones. It's different than being cold. It's a feeling like your soul is cold, if you have a soul. If there's anything left of that once human soul that you had, it's something, it's a metaphysical chill that you feel. It's unlike anything you've experienced before. And you still hear nothing. And now I need you to make a do resolve and composure.
One success.
You're starting to panic a little bit, but not really. You're able to keep your cool, but like there's part of you that is starting to freak out a little bit. You want to yell out, "Who the fuck is there?" But you're the cautiousness in you, the self-preservation in you is like, "Nope, be quiet. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait for it. It's here. You heard it."
When I speak, I don't want to yell, but I want to talk normally. You know what I mean? Like not show my fear, use that resolve. But I'm going to say, I understand why you do so well around here, why you're able to get away with all this. You have it to where most don't even want to acknowledge you're around here, huh? What did they say was the greatest thing the devil did? Was to convince others that he didn't exist? So my question, if you've been careful for so long, why is it now that you're showing yourself?
And there's still silence, and you're frustrated at this point.
I almost took my life there. You caught me at a moment of weakness, a weakness that you and your type brought to me, a damage you caused to me. For some reason, you stopped, and yet you still play these games. There's no need to still play games. I'm here. You wanted me to live. Why do you want me to live?
You hear this light sort of brushing as if something's coming through the bushes.
And I turn around and face the direction.
You still don't see anything, but you hear this rustling, like it's coming, like it's on the ground.
I look at the ground where like it's coming from. Like it's kind of scared, you know what I mean? But
so as you're looking at the ground and you hear this rustling, you start to see the leaves in movement a little bit, and then you see it. It's this large snake, this big beast of a snake that is just slowly coiling up. And as it raises its body, it meets you at eye level, and the face that's on it is not that of a serpent. It's that of a person. It's that of a woman, a disgusting woman, a vile creature that looks like a witch. And its face is just right next to yours, like you could touch noses, and its smile just grows ear to ear, just unnaturally big, and you just feel this terror just rise inside of you as you are face to face with something completely unnatural. "I've been so entertained watching you, Raymond." And it starts to slither around you. It moves behind you and kind of puts its head right next to yours from behind. "You've been so entertaining to watch."
I close my eyes and I like shiver because this kind of reminds me a little bit, especially coming from behind, like what he had to deal with, when he was kidnapped before. I don't want to kill the tone of this, so I'm going to ask this quick question out of character. I am going to ask, can I use contracts against True Fae? Like, and the reason I ask is, can I sense fear? The one that senses fear makes them less susceptible to fear and is able for me to bring out fear more? Or is that just doesn't work with True Fae because they're like assholes who are metaphysical and take on
You could
shapes
try
and
it.
things? While she's close to me, first of all, Raymond's scared shitless. Raymond is 100% scared shitless. Raymond wants to God, I fucking sorry. I hate asking about a rules question because
Dude, don't even sweat it. Don't
I'm
ask
scared.
whatever you want to ask, man.
So I want to try one. Here's my idea. First, I want to use witch's intuition, and it says the cost is 1 glamour, and I'm full on glamour right now. So the cost is 1 glamour, and basically you can. I assume the character dredges knowledges of 1 fear from the subject's mind or subconscious, and I just want to see what this thing is scared of, because to me it's like these things, even though they're assholes and even though they're omniscient, even though they're godlike at times, they're still susceptible because we were able to escape. You know what I mean? And they have weaknesses or whatever. You know what I mean? And he just wants to play off like what. Raymond's scared shitless, yes, but he knows that this is for a reason that she's probably putting on this front. You know what I mean? And there's some reasoning behind it, and he just wants to get a sense of maybe of what she's scared of to use against her. So can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to spend a glamour. It says wits and weird minus the subject's composure, and I'm going to spend a willpower point too, please. So I need to know what their composure is.
Let's say 4.
Damn, dude. So I got 3 dice. I'm glad I spent a willpower point. I wouldn't have had like no dice, dude. 1 success.
So you try to pry this fear out of this thing, and
Yeah,
you think
what it's afraid of. Yeah,
you think you're being slick as you do this, but before I do this, describe to me what it's like when you use this on something. What does it feel like for Raymond, and what does it look like when he tries to pull this image of somebody's fear out of them?
I would say it's Raymond being sneaky. It's Raymond being social engineering, like using tones of voice, mannerisms, just like Raymond did when he got the glamour from that female, you know, in the friggin' in his office. You know, he's able to see by how they talk, how they react, about what fear is. And I think he almost feels like he's doing a dance, a battle of the minds with them. Like he's reading their motions, he's seeing their interpretive dance that they're doing, just with like every little thing they do and how they speak. And from there, it's almost like cracking a code, you know, almost like figuring out a code and be like, oh, okay, now I see when you move like that, this means like this. And of course I can't explain because it's like supernatural, but it's almost like a word game that you play in the back of like the Sunday papers where you got to figure out what a stands for and, you know, crack this code a little bit. So I think he'd become very like observant and very quiet during this. You know what I mean? He's not like trying to talk or whatever. He's just trying to like figure it out. And it's just like almost like a Rain Man autistic, you know, way of thinking that he does while doing this. So probably feels like he's going on all cylinders, like he had a cold brew or something.
So it's like you send out into the universe this question of like, what is this greatest fear? And it just whispers back to you in this chilling voice, nothing, because this is not a human. This is not something that operates the same way that you operate, and this just what it delivers to you is almost more scary than.
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me. Why am I entertaining? Because I'm the only one who seems to care that you're within our garden.
And your eyes are still closed at this point, and you're just hearing this winding and this rattling and slithering, and you feel it close to your face, and you just want to swat it away. You just want to scream. You just want to run, but it's just right next to you, and it's just like the breathing of this thing is just hot breath that just makes you so uncomfortable. And it's just coiling around you, just you know, bringing itself closer to your face, just over and over again. It says, "I just wanted to dance with you one last time."
No. I just like he just starts like fucking screaming like at the top of his lungs because this is like his. No. I did no. I escaped you. Why? No. Why? Why are you back for me?
Follow me, Raymond. And it's just still just circling you in this weird way, like just trying to be it's trying to copy the biblical serpent and just tempt you away into the further reaches of the hedge. And you begin screaming, and you just start yelling. It's just too much at this point. You're just yelling, no, 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 no. And that's where in the distance you hear this horn sound, and it's whatever this creature is just stops what it's doing and it looks at you with this smile, this happy, satisfied, just devious look. And this horn, you just hear it in the distance. It's this faint, like a trumpet sounds. And it's just like very brief and it's over. And then there's just silence again. And the creature looks at you and then it just slithers away quickly. And then you're just left with yourself in silence again. Your legs are shaking. Your hands are trembling. You feel like you can't take another step. You feel like you have to check and see if everything is okay with yourself. You're not even sure. What's going on in your head right now? What are you making of this?
I'm in hell. I'm about to be in hell. And it's like, I'm close to being in hell. And with it slithering off, my first reaction that it was like my original my captors kind of is put at ease, but I'm afraid like whatever blew that horn are like the people who will take me. So my first instinct's to turn the opposite way, even though I don't know if there's an opposite way in all this, and just start running through the hedge again and get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Even though I don't know how to get the fuck out of here, but he's definitely like he doesn't even like all thoughts of suicide or whatever are gone. Just like his natural like flee. You know what I mean? Instinct is just kicking in right now.
And you're just running. And before you were kind of just sort of slowly trailblazing through this brush, but now you don't give a fuck. You're just running through it. And it doesn't matter what's in your way, it's not going to stop you. You're just running and you're running and you hear laughing as you run. You just hear this cackle and it seems to be wherever you go. But you're just running. It doesn't matter. You just need to go. You're running and you feel the thorns ripping at your skin, but you just keep moving and moving and moving and moving.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow, with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.
The Los Angeles metropolitan area is constantly growing and changing. The Central District is full of new buildings. The Hollywood and Wilshire districts, once far from downtown, now are part of which spreads past Beverly Hills and out to the ocean. But why is all this going on in Los Angeles? Why is Los Angeles an exploding city?
Neon Masquerade.
The Demon's Mirror.
13 Candles.
3 Chronicles running through the undead veins of the City of Angels.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers Actual Play podcast invites you to drink deeply.
Go to eorpodcast.com and search the duets tag to find out more.